All right, and we are now live on YouTube as well. So it is 7:01. We can call the meeting to order. We did have 2 additions to the agenda on Monday night. Was there any further additions before we look for an adoption? Don't see any. All right, with that, I will look for a mover and seconder for the adoption of the agenda, please. Moved by Councillor McBride, seconded by Councillor Wood. Questions or comments on the agenda? See none. All in favor? Okay, for Councillors Wainman and Merrow, I'm going to assume you're a yes unless you unmute and say no. If you disagree with that.
I think that's the best way. Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with that. Otherwise, that's how we mute and unmute.
Oh, I see you here. Okay, thank you. So declaration of conflict of interest or pecuniary interest. Seeing none. Delegations, presentations, or petitions. We did have both the RCMP report and Children's First Society on Monday night. We do not have any additional presentations this evening. So we can move on to public question period, of which, as far as I know, we do not have any tonight. Adoption of the minutes of the December 14th and 16th council meeting. I'll look for a mover, please. Moved by Councillor Wood, seconded by Councillor Barlock. Any questions or comments on the minutes? I'm seeing none. All right, we'll call to a vote. All in favor? Thank you. So moved. On to the action items list. Any questions or comments on the list? I am seeing none. All right, on to 8.1, new business. This is the request for single detached dwelling conditional use. Recommendation is that Inuvik Town Council hereby approves a proposal to accommodate a conditional use development of a single detached unit on numbers 4 to 9 Lagoon Road, Lot 7, Block 1, Plan 2482. I will look for a mover, please. Moved by Councillor Wainman, seconded by Councillor Loreen. Questions or comments on this item? Councillor Salatke. Oh, okay. Any questions or
I think we
comments?
have a lag. Yeah.
Okay. All right, with that, we'll move to a vote. All in favor? So moved, thank you. With that, we can move on to item 8.2, which is the 2021 property tax auction. Recommendation is that in accordance with the Property Assessment and Taxation Act, Inuvik Town Council will auction specified properties at the Town Council chambers at 9 a.m. on Thursday, January 28th, 2021. The minimum sale price shall be 50% of the assessed value as listed for each property, and each property shall be auctioned on the condition that the taxes for 2 years in arrears at the time. Each property shall be auctioned on the condition that the taxes are 2 years in arrears at the time of the auction. I will look for a mover, please. Moved by Councillor McBride, seconded by Councillor Barlock. Questions or comments on the auction? Councillor Wood.
Just a question. On Monday night, the SAO mentioned one person had been in and made an arrangement for payments. Do you know if there's been anybody else in the meantime? Because the last thing we want to do is sell somebody's home.
SAO Hood?
At this point, no, but they have right up until the actual day of the auction. Even with passing this motion, you're just actually saying we are going to have the auction, but in the paper, if there's an ad in the paper, and that they have right up until the auction, and technically they have 30 days after the auction as well to pay.
So right in saying that most properties do not go in the auction, that people make arrangements?
There's a good portion of them don't. It's usually the same properties every year.
Yeah, usually there's not a lot of interest.
Yeah, we usually don't sell. I think we sold maybe 3 or maybe 4 properties in the last 10 years.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions on the auction? I'm seeing none. All right, with that, we can bring to a vote. All in favor? Thank you. All right, we can move on to item 8.3, which is the appointment of our auctioneer. Recommendation is that Inuvik Town Council hereby appoints Mr. Grant Hood as the auctioneer for the 2021 tax auction scheduled for January 28th, 2021, as per the requirements of the Property Assessment and Taxation Act. I'll look for a mover, please. Moved by Councillor Wood, seconded by Councillor Loreen. Questions or comments on the appointment of the auctioneer? Seeing none, we'll call to a vote. All in favor? Great, thank you. On to item 9.1, which is the water and sewer utility rates bylaw. Recommendation is that Inuvik Town Council hereby gives first reading to bylaw 2660 UTIL 21, the water and sewer utility rates bylaw. I'll look for a mover, please. Moved by Councillor McBride, seconded by Councillor Barlock. Questions or comments on first reading? Seeing none, I'll call to a vote. All in favor? Thank you. First reading passes. Second reading, that Inuvik Town Council hereby gives second reading to bylaw 2660 UTIL 21, the water and sewer utility rates bylaw. Look for a mover for second reading, please. Moved by Councillor Loreen, seconded by Councillor Wainman. Any questions or comments on second reading? Seeing none, we'll call to a vote. All in favor? So moved. Thank you. And next up, we have our solid waste levy bylaw. Recommendation is that Inuvik Town Council hereby gives first reading to bylaw 2661 UTIL 21, the solid waste levy bylaw. I'll look for a mover, please. Moved by Councillor Barlock and seconded by Councillor McBride. Questions or comments on first reading? Seeing none, we'll call to a vote. All in favor? So moved. Thank you. On to second reading, that Inuvik Town Council hereby gives second reading to bylaw 2661 UTIL 21, the solid waste levy bylaw. I'll look for a mover, please. Councillor Loreen, seconded by Councillor Wood. Questions or comments on second reading? Seeing none, we'll call to a vote. All in favor? So moved. Thank you. With that, we can move on to our department head reports. So recommendation is that Inuvik Town Council hereby adopts the following department head reports as presented. 10.1, the planning and development report. 10.2, the economic development and tourism report. 10.3, the public works report. 10.4, the senior administrative officers report. 10.5, the community services report, and 10.6, the protective services report. May I have a mover on the motion, please? Moved by Councillor Barlock, seconded by Councillor McBride. Any questions or comments on the department head reports?
Hi.
Go ahead,
Hello?
Cassidy.
I was reading 10.1 and I noticed, I don't know if this is a mistake, but if you look in May, I think the first one, I think there's supposed to be an S, but I don't know.
Is it just like a typo possibly?
I think it's just a typo. Sorry.
Okay, can you email it to me and I'll get it to the right person?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right, anything further on the reports? See none. All right, we'll call to a vote. All in favor? All right, so moved. With that, we only have our information items, strategic priorities chart, and Aurora Research Institute notifications. Were there any council concerns this evening? Seeing none, we do not have in camera, so I'll look for a motion to adjourn, please. Made by Councillor Loreen. Thank you all very much. Have a great evening. We will see you soon.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.